It's officially summer, which if you're anything like me means that you may have started creating your dream summer vision board for outfit inspiration. But when I actually started shopping for anything that resembled something on my vision board, I was horrified by the prices. We do not have the money to be spending on a $200 dress, okay?
Oh, so does that mean you're just giving up on your dream summer wardrobe?
Oh, no, definitely not. I just decided to sew it myself. So in this video, we are going to be sewing my dream summer wardrobe in just a few days. I'm gonna be sewing some things from scratch. I'm gonna be upcycling some things. And I'm also gonna give you some options that you can make even if you don't have a sewing machine or any sewing experience at all. So, without further ado, let's get sewing because we have a lot to do. Also, thank you so much Skillshare for sponsoring this video. We will be talking about them soon, so stay tuned for that as well. Okay. This week has been really cloudy. I've been a little down, and yesterday I was sitting on my bed moping, and I saw out of the corner of my eye a flash of yellow. These pillowcases, and right away, look at the ruffles, the little like polka dots. Perfect, and it just brightens my mood. And then I did this. Did I wait to film it? No. The inspiration struck. And when inspiration strikes, sometimes you just gotta go with it.
I'm making this from a pattern I've been making myself that hopefully I will be able to perfect and be able to share with you guys at some point. After I cut out all my pieces, I just put right sides together and sewed them all together.
First seam rip of this project. Remember, seam ripping doesn't mean failure. It's just part of the process. Okay, I'm basically just piecing this together like a giant puzzle piece. I have a lot of it pieced together already.
Welcome to Sewing Anastasia. Today I'm going to show you how to sew a zipper.
Yes, I still need to look up how to sew a zipper every single time I do it.
Once I had the top kind of looking how I liked it, I started working on the skirt, which I decided would be cute as a two-piece instead of a dress. Played around with everything on the mannequin until I liked the way it looked and began constructing the skirt. An easy way to do this is to measure an elastic to your waist and sew that all around your fabric of the skirt, which will make a really flouncy little skirt that you don't even need a zipper for, which is key because one zipper for the day was enough for me. My favorite part of any sewing project is when I get to decorate it at the end with trim. It's like you just baked a really difficult cake, things kept going wrong, the stakes were really high, but you have made it to the finish line. You've made it through the worst of it, and the cake is finished and ready for you to add the decorations, which is the fun part.
Look how cute this is looking. Who says you need to buy butter yellow when you can just sew something in butter yellow? Oh, hey there. You again. Still want me to sew an entire summer wardrobe? Okay, let's keep going. So dark right now because it's literally been storming all day long. I think it's about to rain again. I hear thunder. This is the fabric we're gonna be using. It's this really pretty vintage shabby chic and it's white, and my graduation is tomorrow. So we're gonna try to speed run this and see if we can finish it so I can actually wear it to my graduation tomorrow, if it comes out well enough. All you'll need to make this dress is a pattern, a bed sheet, and an inflated sense of self-confidence and the delusion that you can do anything in any amount of time.
So I began this wildly ambitious project by cutting out my pattern. I'm pretty sure this type of corset is called a princess seam, which obviously fitting, just kidding, but it basically means that it's this curved like pattern that creates this really pretty structure.
It wasn't sewing. My bobbin has no thread. That is the worst feeling. It is currently 4:53, the night before my graduation. So let's see if we can do this. Why, hello. It is now 7:37. Let me show you the progress we've made. Look how nicely it fits. I'm sewing a lining for like the first time in my life, guys. We're being professional. Next, we need to make the skirt, which for me is gonna be the hardest part because I hate ruffling. I hate it so much.
Here I am trying to show you the skirt pieces from the pattern that I successfully sewed together, and now it is officially time to ruffle, which usually I would say go look up a video on how to do that, but I am feeling generous today. You want to start with a long tail of thread on your machine because you're gonna pull it later. Don't backstitch it all and make your stitch length as long as possible. I made mine 4.5. Then you literally just sew down the entire thing, turn on a good TV show in the background, or simply ponder in your own thoughts. And finally, carefully, very, very carefully, and I cannot stress this enough, pull on the thread until you make a ruffle, but do not get frustrated or impatient patient because you will snap the threads. And yes, I am speaking from experience. I did snap the threads and literally I had to start over. So I didn't film it because I was so frustrated, but I'm trying to save you from my mistakes. Just have some patience.
12:40. Not feel like pulling out the big ring light, but tomorrow I'm gonna add a bow so that I can like cinch it in like that. I don't know. I just think I'm very proud of myself. I cannot believe it. I feel like my brain is asleep right now. We're sleep talking right now. Bye. Good night. Sleep well. Oh, good morning. It is bright and early the next morning, but there is no rest for the wicked because we are going to be finishing this dress today. I just made a spaghetti strap.
Okay, if there's one thing I hate more than ruffling, it is making spaghetti straps. So you guys can tell how determined I really was to make this dress, but I feel like I got better at spaghetti straps during this video because I found this new trick where you use a bobby pin to turn it inside out, which is pretty cool.
Okay. This is the best thing I've ever made. I believe I just made my graduation dress in one night. It is literally time to go, but I just finished getting ready, finished the dress. Let's go graduate, I guess.
Any last words?
I'm tired.
Come on, get on it. Get real.
I don't know. I'm about to sketch out the next dress that I want to sew. And speaking of sketching things out,
I've been taking a class with Skillshare.
which brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. Thank you so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. If you don't already know, Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives with a wide depth of different creative topics. They offer literally thousands of classes in countless creative categories, and they range from like beginner to advanced. There's classes in pretty much anything you could think of, from illustration, animation, entrepreneurship. In my case, a skill that I've really been trying to work on is my sewing skills. And Skillshare literally has so many classes in sewing, textiles, all of that. Literally like a candy store. Skillshare offers a learn by doing approach, and it's an on-demand platform, so members can learn at their own pace. So currently I have been taking this class. This is fashion design, sketching your fashion ideas, a beginner class with industry standards by the teacher Nino Villa, who's a fashion design instructor and consultant. It has been so wonderful. I've already learned so much. As you can see right here, I have my croquis, which is in fashion sketching the word for these types of models. One of my biggest goals this summer, especially now that I've just graduated college, is to continue my learning, and I feel like Skillshare is the perfect way to do that. It looks so good, and with the croquis, it's so quick to be able to just sketch some things out. So I highly suggest checking out Skillshare. And this is the perfect time to try it out because guess what?
The first 500 people to click my link or scan this QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today.
Thank you so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. But obviously, we have some dresses to make, so time to get to work. We are on to our next project. I've just cut out my pattern pieces. It is actually freezing this morning. It is like 40 degrees, but last week it was like 80 degrees, and I really, all week, was just wishing I had like a really airy baby doll dress. So that is what we were making today. I have this really pretty fabric that I thrifted. So pretty. Okay, so I have 2 mirror pieces. What's gonna happen is this top part is gonna eventually have an elastic through it, which is gonna make it scrunch up right sides together, and I'm just gonna pin down the edges and sew it up. I did make a lot of adjustments to this pattern because I don't like certain aspects of it, so we're gonna see if my adjustments work out. We only have a couple days left to finish all of these pieces. I also desperately need a sewing table because doing all of this on my bed and on my floor, guys, my back is in so much pain. Please like this video, if nothing else, for feeling bad for my back. Okay, so now I'm trying to attach the sleeve to the dress. So I matched the seams, and now I'm just pinning it right sides together. Now I have the whole thing inside out. I'm gonna fold it down all the way around like this much to create a channel for the elastic to go through. Okay, I have an update. So I really like it, and I do think it's like probably the easiest dress I've made because you literally just sewed a couple things together, and then the scrunch basically gives it all of its shape. Time to decorate our cake with this ribbon. And speaking of this ribbon, I got this at a secondhand craft store. Another one for $1. I got elastic, got some hook and eyelet closures for like 50 cents. So you're assigned to look at like thrift stores in their craft section.
This dress would not be complete without a little bow at the tops, so I used the same spaghetti strap technique and made a little bow.
Okay, I think I just finished this dress. It is so cute. The next thing I'm gonna make is a little dress out of this pink gingham fabric. Okay, it is officially 4:07. We're gonna see if we can finish this by tonight.
Okay, you guys know the drill at this point. We just basically put our pattern pieces right sides together how they're supposed to match up and sew them all together. I added some straps, and then to decorate, this time I really wanted to use one of these little rosettes I have, so I just hand sewed that on. Added some of the eyelet trim, and we're finished.
Hi team. It has to be the last day of sewing, and I'm just gonna do a fun little project. We're not gonna be sewing anything from scratch, but instead I have this pair of jeans that I was gonna just give away because I never wear them. Welcome to my favorite collection, my scrap fabric. I have literally been collecting everything in this box for the past like 5 or 6 years of my life. So much of it is like little scraps like this that isn't enough for me to like make something big out of, but I want to be able to use it somehow. So I'm gonna start doing little projects with it, and I think the first one I want to do is decorate these pants. This is very relaxing. I feel like if you need a good thing to just put on an audiobook and do, definitely patchwork some jeans or something else like overalls or something. Really anything in your closet, even a bag. The options are literally endless, and I feel like anybody can do this. Even if you don't have a sewing machine, you could totally hand sew.
To do like ribbon like this, all you have to do is on each like turn, just pin down that curve, or like right here, if I wanted to make it like this, I would just pin on each of these, and then all you have to do is stitch right there. You don't even need to stitch all the way around. With something like jeans, you actually probably won't be able to use the sewing machine for the whole thing because at a certain point it won't fit on the sewing machine, so you definitely will have to hand sew some of it. Here I am hand sewing into the wee hours of the night, and I still didn't finish in time for this video, so this is an
Here's
endeavor.
something that anybody can do, even if you don't know how to sew. You can do this with hand sewing. It'll take you a little while, but you could put on a movie and enjoy it. Or this is a really just simple way to kind of start getting used to your sewing machine if you do have one. And it's to add little things to clothing that you already have in your closet. One of my favorite things to do every year is to look in my closet, and instead of just instantly wanting to give away or sell items that I haven't worn in a while, I'll try to think of ways that we can kind of spruce them up, like the jeans we just did, but even on a smaller scale, just little things. First thing I want to do is I have this pair of shorts. So I'm gonna use the antique trim that I've been using throughout this video, and I'm gonna add it to the shorts. They're gonna look like completely different shorts, even though we're really not doing that much. I have this little white dress, this little white top. I feel like I have so much white in my closet, and I really don't need another white dress or another white top. So these are things that I was thinking of just giving away. I have this really pretty ribbon that came in this dust bag. Look how beautiful that is. And this antique French woven ribbon. I've been trying to find a use for both of these. Literally all you need for this is just a little bit of ribbon, and you could either hand sew it or it's an easy sewing project on your sewing machine.
I loved these because it was so simple, but it made all the difference. I started by just pinning the ribbon in place where I decided I wanted it, and then I simply sewed it on for both pieces. They're unrecognizable, and it literally took me 20 minutes. And finally, here's your sign to hem that dress that's sitting in the back of your closet to a different length. I'm using these little clips to decide where I want the dress to hit. I flip the dress inside out and sew over that, collecting the little clips as I go. And here I am trying to show you how I'm cutting off the excess fabric, but I only had one hand. And finally,
it is officially time for the fashion show. I think that we successfully sewed my dream summer wardrobe. I was suspicious about this one, guys. I was a little bit concerned there for a second, but I think it came out so cute. Are you kidding me? Can you believe this was this at one point. My magnum opus. I also kind of like the bow in front. Okay, didn't make this top. And the jeans are still a work in progress, but I'm obsessed with how they're coming out. We've officially reached the end of this video. I'm in my mom's art room. That back there, believe it or not, is a quilt I made when I was 12 at a sewing camp. So this is where it all started. I look like this because I've been up all night editing. I hope that you guys absolutely loved this video. I had so much fun making it. It's one of my favorites that I think I've ever made. I'm really exhausted. This was a very big undertaking, but I hope that you loved this video. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. Please comment down below which one is your favorite, any sewing projects or just crafty, creative projects that you are hoping to do this summer. Thank you again so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video, and make sure again to go check out the link in my description. Anyway, I'm gonna go take the longest nap. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah.